gold and silver on this closeout, and we're going to talk about it in just a little bit. But first, I'm going to tell you, in the closeout, what we're going to do, we're going to do it in phases. First, I'm going to talk about Gene's stuff he found. I'll put a picture up there, we'll talk about that. Then I'm going to talk about John Boy's stuff he found. We'll put a picture up, talk a little bit about that, and there's some gold in that. And then I'm going to show you everything we found. We're going to talk about that. And then I got a couple things I got to clean up, and we're going to clean those up. Probably take me till tomorrow to get some electrolysis done and all. And then we're going to talk, I'm going to show you that once I clean it up, and we're going to talk about that. So there's going to be multiple things in this video, so let's get started right now. All right, let's start off with the gold. I like starting off with gold. Here is a picture of all of John Boy's finds that day. But if you zoom in here and you see this right here, he put it in his hand right here. It's 3 pieces of gold. He got the earring, which I could see 10K right on that earring, so we know that's 10 karat gold. He had to test the other stud earring, and that was 14 karat gold. If you notice the color, when you start getting higher karat gold, it gets a little bit orangier. It changes color just a little bit. The other looks like a little rock is actually a filling. It must have, maybe from some ashes somebody threw out, had a filling in it. But anyway, it's 14 karat gold. He said it held 14 karat all day long. And fillings can range anywhere from 12 to 20 karat. But that one there held 14 karat. He said, so good job, John Boy, on the gold. I love seeing the gold. All right, here's an overview of Gene's finds. He did get some clad, he get a bunch of other stuff, a key, and did get 1 ring. It's a junker, but he did get 1 ring to add to his count for 2025. All right, this is the Gigmaster's finds. Everything came from that second beach with that huge cut, except for a couple of these cans here, these glasses, and that right there. I think everything else came from that second beach, which is crazy. Look how many targets we dug at that beach. That huge cut made a huge stuff everywhere. It's crazy. Let's start over here. Bullets. Look at the bullets right here. 50 cal right there. Another bullet casing. Screws, nuts, washers, all kind of stuff in there. I think these are some actually pieces from some shells. World War II shells right there. Some scrap there. We did get, what, almost $2 and change maybe on clad. And a few of those clad came from the first beach. About 50-50 on those. Like I say, stainless steel, 1 sinker. Look at this, a handle, a brass handle. What does that do on the beach? You wonder, what the heck? All these pieces you see right here, and we all found this, comes from a battery. Pieces coming out of a battery right there. And all these are battery pieces right there. Little few washers there. But this is little pieces of brass that I dug out. Every one of those sound good. Every one of them blew my detector up right there. So lots of little pieces in there where that giant cut was. Okay. I'm not sure what that is. That's some kind of electronic device there or something. I'm not sure what that is. Couple earrings. This is a lead seal. What's a lead seal doing on the beach? I don't know. That's pretty crazy right there. Let me see if I can get that thing to focus in versus... Yeah, that's a little better. It's got a number on it or something right there, it looks like. Some kind of stamp. 1998. That was on some kind of pendant. 1 little earring there, an earring there. A little starfish little pendant. That's going to be a junker, I'm pretty sure. I hadn't really checked a whole lot of these yet. In the end, we'll do some checking in case it is something, but I don't think most of this won't be. And that's a little elephant, I think it is. Now, this came from the first beach. It's a junker ring, like a personal right there. Definitely junker. It's got a adjustment on it there. This one came right by the big old cut. It's a beautiful sterling silver ring right there. I hadn't found a sterling silver ring in a few weeks now. Yeah, I was glad to see that come out of there. That's a pretty ring right there. But not a bad hunt. Enjoyed that. I'm going to start some electrolysis on these 2 items. This knife and this, which is very interesting. You can see some stones actually in it in a couple places here and in the bottom. I don't know what it is. I really don't. But I think it's some cool. Looks like it's got some design in here. So when it cleans up, we should get a good view of it. So let's get this started. All right, we just set it up and plugged it in, and as you can see, we already got bubbles coming up here. Hoping it's going to loosen up this stuff on here so it'll come right off. Let's get it down here where you can see a little bit. You can see it starting to foam up in there, and you actually can see bubbles coming up off the knife too right here. All right, let's let this sit here for a few hours, and we'll come back and check it out. All right, as you see, the water's really dirty now. But check this out. This thing is coming clean. Look at stuff just peels off when you hit it now. And you see a lot of it has already come off. But what we're going to do now, we're going to throw this in our tumbler to see if it can knock off the rest of that little corrosion on it right now. All right, let's throw it in the tumbler and see what that does. I think the knife down here will be okay just cleaning that up right there. We'll just rub that down and clean it up. All right, stay tuned. We'll clean them up. All right, we got everything out of my tumbler, and check it out right here. This had to have been a pretty thing at one time. Let me see if I can focus in a little closer for you. There you go. These things here are actually coming off. Look at that. There's one right there. Little stones that were in all the way around this thing. All the way around. Had stones all around. Had stones in the scorpion. But I bet that was a pretty pendant at one time. They do sell these 18 karat gold. I wish if this one was gold, that would be really nice. But as you can see, we did get it cleaned up, though. It's pretty cool little medallion right there. The scorpion. You can see all the little things shining in there. Some of them fell out, but there's still a bunch of them in there. If they were diamonds, that'd be nice, but I know they're not. I'm not even going to test them. And this thing here turned out to be something unique. I've never seen this before. If y'all look right there, it says nickel silver. I've never seen and didn't know they made utensils out of nickel silver. And I was looking it up as kind of a combination. It's got zinc, nickel, silver, and all kind of stuff. But the main thing is that right there. I've never seen that on anything. And it looks like a foreign writing. If anybody can help me analyze and figure out what that is, please let me know. But we did get everything cleaned up. There's some old stuff coming out of that little cut. Some cool stuff, too.